Hey everyone, welcome to Pai's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a vegan chocolate mousse recipe. Now this recipe has quickly become my favorite chocolate mousse recipe, not because it's vegan, that's a bonus, but because it is incredibly easy, delicious, and it's lower fat than the classic mousse. It's also really forgiving, so I'm going to show you sort of the base recipe, and then you can take it from there and customize it with whatever flavoring, darkness, richness that you want. So it's really fun, a fun recipe for you to experiment in the kitchen. So let's get started. So the main ingredient is, of course, chocolate. So I've got some dark chocolate here that I've roughly chopped, and you want to use good quality chocolate for this. I mean, it is basically one of two main ingredients in this recipe, so don't cheap out on this one. Get something that you enjoy eating on its own. So I am using a 70% dark chocolate, or you can go a little lighter, but I would stick with dark chocolate. Basically, when it says 70%, that means that the other 30% is sugar. So if you're going to use more or less percentage than me, then you might have to adjust the sugar accordingly, and you can always taste and adjust at the end. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna melt this chocolate down over a hot water bath, and I'm gonna turn this on just to a simmer. You don't want it boiling away, and then put this on top. So I'm gonna let that go, and now I'm gonna deal with the rest of my ingredients. My secret ingredient is soft tofu. Now, soft tofu is soft and silky, and it's the perfect thing to give this mousse that light, velvety, luscious texture. And add it to a food processor or a blender of any kind. And see, this is why this is also a much healthier way of making a chocolate mousse. Classically, what you would use is cream and also eggs. Oh, that's another thing. A classic chocolate mousse contains raw eggs usually, because the egg is whipped and folded in and it's not cooked. So sometimes you don't want to feed that to pregnant women or people with compromised immune systems. So this is a good option for those people. And now I am going to add some sugar, and I am using dark brown sugar. You can use regular white sugar if you want, but I like that intense molasses flavor that dark brown sugar has. As I said, this is a very flexible recipe. You can add less sugar, more sugar, whatever you want. A little bit of salt. Now, the next thing is the fun part, flavoring. You can flavor this however you want. If you want to keep it neutral, you can just add a little bit of vanilla, which is what I'm gonna do for this, just a smidge. Boop. But also, if you want to intensify the chocolate flavor, adding espresso really deepens and darkens that chocolate flavor. What you can also add is all sorts of different alcohol. So if you want to make this orange flavored, you can add some Grand Marnier, which is a orange flavored liqueur, or you can add Frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur, one of my favorites, which is Bailey's Irish cream liqueur. So your liquor cabinet is the limit, or your liquor store is the limit to where you can take this chocolate mousse. If you don't want to use alcohol, you can just use different extracts, mint extracts, almond extract, whatever you want. So I think today I've already got some coffee in there. I think I'm going to add a splash of Frangelico, which I love. And also all this added liquid is going to help soften the mousse a little bit. I'm going to just blitz it up until it's smooth. Nice. Okay, so I like to mix this still on the water bath. I've turned it off, but I don't want to take it out right away, because if this gets too cold, once we add the tofu, this is going to get really cold, and sometimes the chocolate seizes up into clumps. So I'm going to add just a little bit at a time. It makes it easier to mix, and you'll notice it thickening right away almost. See? And if you feel that, okay, it's clumping up too much, you need a little bit more heat, you can just turn on the pot, and it'll help melt the chocolate right down. That's it. It smells so good right now, that coffee, that Frangelico, and the chocolate. And it's foolproof. Nothing can possibly go wrong in this recipe. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it's coming together in just a second. And that is it. It's done. Your chocolate mousse. Well, it's warm right now. Hey, you can actually have a warm chocolate mousse, which is not possible if you were making chocolate mousse the traditional way. I like to just run a rubber spatula against the bottom because sometimes there's bits of unmixed chocolate at the bottom. And a great thing with this recipe is you can taste and adjust like it were a pot of soup, right? Normally with a regular chocolate mousse, because it's cold, delicate, there's sort of egg foam involved. If you decide, oh, I need it to be a little sweeter, you can't just dump a bunch of sugar at the end. So with this one, you can really play around with it. Oh, it's even good warm. Oh, that's so good. This is going to chill into quite a rich and dense mousse, but if you want to make it a little lighter, you can take an electric beater and beat air into this mixture before you let it cool. So I like to serve it in tiny little mason jars, which I think are super cute. Okay, so now serve it with some fresh fruit, which is really, really delicious. Now I'm going to introduce you to the cutest fruit for dessert garnishes, and that's the Cape gooseberries. And they come with these little outer shell. What you want to do if you're using it for dessert garnish is open it and then just grab the top like this and then twist it. And once you twist it, it'll sort of stay in like this little thing that's just so cute. And then it just adds a nice orange color to your chocolate mousse. And how cute is that? And that was so easy. So that's one way to plate it if you want to keep it vegan and gluten-free. Now, if you are not interested in vegan and gluten-free, I'm going to show you another way that I like to do it. So for this one, I'm going to layer it, and layered desserts are always super fun. So I've got a little bit of mousse on the bottom. I am going to add some crushed Oreos, and you don't have to use Oreos. If you want to keep this gluten-free, you can put cubes of gluten-free cake. And now the second layer of mousse is going to go in. Top it with more fruit. So just the same fruit that we had earlier. I'm going to show you a little trick. It's called fanning strawberries, and it's really easy. You want to get a strawberry and you want to make a slit, not all the way to the end, but pretty close, and get thin slices. It'll fan out better. Okay, and then you just kind of push it out, and then it'll fan out just like that. Look how pretty. And then as a final garnish, this is my Asian side coming through, I am gonna finish it up with some pocky. That's right. Give me a thumbs up if you grew up with these, and I'm talking to you, my Asian brothers and sisters. I know you grew up on these, and they're just really fun cookie sticks covered in chocolate or strawberries, and I think it'll just be, you know, a cute thing to add. I am gonna try this one because I'm feeling very fruity today. It continues to surprise me that this is made of chocolate and tofu. It's silky, it's creamy, it's super chocolatey, and I love that added espresso really intensify that flavor. I'm telling you, when you serve this to your guests, don't tell them what the secret ingredient is. Have them guess, and they will be blown away. Oh, I can stand here and eat this all day. All right, so the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. And when you make it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and I will see you next time for your next delicious adventure.